that we're grateful for each and every one of you. Let us know where in the world you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let's begin. I had always believed in the strength of our marriage. For 25 years, I stood by Patricia's side, providing, sacrificing, and building a life I thought was solid. But as I sat across from my daughter Layla, watching her eyes flicker with hesitation, I knew something had cracked beyond repair. I swirled the coffee in my mug, waiting. Dad. She started, her voice quiet. Cautious, Mom. She needed a break. My grip on the handle tightened. She's with someone else, isn't she? I asked, my voice unnervingly calm. Layla flinched. That was all the confirmation I needed. As the truth settled in, a cold realization dawned. This wasn't just Patricia's betrayal. My daughter had known she had helped her mother. They all knew. Layla swallowed hard. Averting her eyes, she deserves this, Dad. She whispered, she's always been there for us. For you, she just needed something different. A bitter chuckle escaped my lips. Something different, that's what they called it now. I leaned back, staring at the empty space where our family once lived, where laughter used to echo. You mean she needed someone else? I corrected her. And you? My own daughter helped her do it. Tears welled in her eyes. Dad, it's not like that. But it is. I interrupted, my voice like steel. You encouraged it, you let her cheat. And now you're here expecting me to just accept it. She didn't respond. She couldn't. The house was empty now. Not just physically, but emotionally. Everything I had built, everything I had sacrificed for was gone. But I wasn't broken, not yet. If Patricia wanted to find herself, I make sure she lost everything in the process. If she thought she could betray me and walk away and scaff, she had no idea what I was capable of. A slow, calculating smirk formed on my lips. They wanted a new beginning. I give them one. They never forget I didn't waste time. While Layla fumbled for words, trying to justify Patricia's betrayal, I made my decision. I was leaving. Not because I was weak, not because I couldn't handle the pain, but because I wanted to disappear from their lives, just long enough for them to feel my absence, to realize the weight of what they had destroyed. Layla watched in horror as I tossed my phone onto the table. You're canceling your phone? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I won't need it where I'm going. Her breath hitched. Dad, please don't do this. I met her gaze with a cold stare. You and your mother already did it. I'm just returning the favor. I turned away from her, grabbed my suitcase, and walked out of the house. I didn't need a goodbye. They had already buried me. As I drove toward the airport, I let my mind replay every moment leading up to this betrayal. The secret shopping trips, the locked phone, the excuses to stay late. It was all there, hiding in plain sight. But the part that twisted the knife deeper, the man she was cheating with. Floyd Cordetti, a name I recognized all too well. Layla had let it slip without realizing it. Floyd wasn't just a stranger. He was a married man, and that changed everything. Because now I wasn't just going to destroy Patricia. I was going to destroy him too. I wasn't the kind of man who lashed out in anger. I had built an empire from nothing. Gibson Holdings, a real estate giant. My wealth wasn't just financial. I control things, and now I would use that control to make Patricia and Floyd pay in ways they never saw coming. Step 1: severing Patricia's financial safety net. I had set up accounts in her name, property she could fall back on, but not anymore. With a few calls, I revoked everything. By the time she came back from her dirty little getaway, she wouldn't just return to an empty home. She returned to nothing. I wasn't the only victim here. Floyd had a wife, and she deserved to know. A quick investigation revealed her name. Haley Cordetti, a devoted mother of 2 young girls. I found her social media easily. Photos of their perfect family smiling vacations. Captions filled with love. She had no idea what was happening behind her back. I was about to change that. I sent an anonymous email. No explanation, just one attachment. photographic proof of Floyd's affair with Patricia. Then I waited, because when she found out, I was gonna break loose. When Patricia returned from a romantic escape, she found nothing waiting for her. Her belongings gone, her financial stability vanished, her marriage dead, and then her phone rang. It was Haley, the wife of her lover. And if Patricia thought I was vengeful, she hadn't met a woman scorned. I wasn't there when Patricia answered the call, but I imagined it in perfect detail. Haley's voice shaking with rage, demanding answers, Patricia stuttering, trying to explain away the unexplainable. And then the screaming, because unlike me, Haley wasn't calm, she wasn't calculating. She was furious, and Floyd, he was about to lose everything. I didn't stop at breaking Patricia. Floyd Cordetti had built a reputation as a family man, a businessman, and a respectable member of society. I made sure that reputation shattered overnight. Haley filed for divorce within days. His colleagues found out. His clients pulled their contracts. Everything he built came crashing down. And as he lost everything, Patricia realized something chilling. She had better future on a sinking ship, and now she was drowning with him. The text started small, "We need to talk." Then they became desperate. "Please just answer me, I made a mistake." And finally pathetic, "I love you, please come home." I let her beg because after what she did, she didn't deserve forgiveness. She deserved to suffer. Patricia had spent her life defining herself as my wife. She had built her comfort on my success. So I took that away. I filed for divorce. And in the settlement, she got nothing. No alimony, no house, no financial support, just the cold, hard truth. She had traded a life of security for a fleeting affair. And now she had nothing left. For the first time in decades, I was free, and while Patricia wallowed in regret, I moved forward. New business ventures, new experiences, new women, because life didn't end with betrayal. It began with revenge, and I was just getting started. Patricia didn't stop trying to reach me. Day after day, her messages filled my inbox. I was stupid, I don't know what I was thinking. "We can fix this, please, let's talk." But I ignored every single one. Because Patricia wasn't sorry she cheated. She was sorry she got caught. And soon she was gonna learn what true loss felt like. Patricia had built her image as the perfect wife, the devoted mother, the kind, loyal woman, and I ripped that image apart. The evidence of her affair. It leaked, the texts, the photos, the receipts. Everyone saw it, friends, family, neighbors, even her co-workers. The whispers followed her everywhere. And for the first time, she felt what I felt: humiliation, betrayal, isolation. But I wasn't finished yet. Floyd Cordetti thought he could have it all. A loving wife, a mistress, a perfect life. He was wrong. When Haley left him, she took everything. His house gone, his reputation destroyed, his business bankrupt, and the best part, it was all his own fault. Because the moment he betrayed his wife, he had already lost. I had taken my time, watching as Patricia's life crumbled piece by piece. But now it was time for the final blow. The divorce settlement, brutal. She fought for the house, she lost. She fought for money, she lost. She fought for me, and she lost that too. Now she had nothing left, no home, no marriage, no dignity. And the best part, she did it to herself. For years I'd lived for my family, work for them, sacrifice for them. And look where that got me. But now I live for myself. I traveled, I explored. I met women who valued me, women who knew what loyalty meant. And Patricia, she watched from the sidelines, wishing she had never thrown it all away. But the past, it was dead to me. Patricia's messages turned desperate. "I miss you, I miss us." I was a fool, I know that now. Please, just one more chance. But the thing about burning bridges, you can't cross them again. And Patricia, she was standing in the ashes of her own choices, and I had already moved on. Love found me again, not in the form of desperation, but genuine connection. She wasn't a woman who needed rescuing. She wasn't someone who saw me as just security. She was strong, independent, loyal, and for the first time in years, I was truly happy Patricia saw it. And the pain in her eyes was the revenge I've been waiting for. The last time I saw Patricia, she looked like a ghost of her former self. She had aged not just in years, but in pain. You really moved on. She whispered yes. I said simply. A single tear slid down her cheek. Was I really that easy to forget? I leaned in, my voice calm, cold. You weren't easy to forget, Patricia. You were just easy to replace. And with that I walked away. No more lies, no more betrayal. No more wasted years. For the first time in my life, I was free, and nothing, not Patricia, not the past, not the pain, could ever take that from me again. Layla had watched everything unfold. At first she defended her mother, tried to justify the betrayal. But as time passed, she realized the truth. Her mother wasn't a victim. She was the villain, and for the first time in her life, she saw me for who I truly was. Not the weak, discarded husband, but the man who had won. I built my empire from nothing. And when it was torn apart, I rebuilt it again, but this time for myself. And as I looked around and my new life, my new love, my new freedom, I realized something. Patricia didn't ruin me. She made me stronger. And that was the greatest revenge of all. Years later, a letter arrived from her. It was simple. I regret everything I lost. The best thing that ever happened to me. I will never stop loving you. I read it once and then I burned it. Because Patricia's love meant nothing to me anymore. I was no longer the husband she betrayed. No longer the fool she played. I was stronger, wiser, happier, and Patricia, she was just a lesson, one I would never forget. They say what goes around comes around. Patricia never found love again. Every man she met saw her for what she was. A woman who threw away gold for dust. And that was her punishment. A lifetime of regret. I built a new life. A better one, with a woman who knew what loyalty made. And as I held her hand, watching the sun rise on our future, I realized something. Patricia didn't break me. She freed me. There was no more bitterness. No more anger, just peace. Because the best revenge was simply living a life she could only dream of. Patricia's story ended in regret. Mine was just beginning, and this time, I was finally home where I always belonged.